community and the police working together, the police and the community working together, and you ask, how can that happen? Is it for real? Well, yes, the police and the community have been working together, and vice versa. And not only when we want in that of investigation or inquiry, there are other forums in which the police and the community have been working together, and we will continue to work together. So we just go back to the theme song, just for a brief, just a line, and we'll be right back in studio with the conversation with the RGPF.
Odor disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant.
Remember, police policy is to serve God and country, but it is like we from hell. You treat us as Nimbus and Jezebel. So when I hear you complaining, I have to agree. Is you my society that gives to your police brutality against me? Society brutal. Oh gosh, they're brutal. My society brutal.
Yes, it's only an advice Kentura was giving, and you know what? It's for all of us. It's time that the police and the community continue to work together. And one of the best ways we can do that, as I always say, you see something, hear something, know something. Just something, and in so doing, we are able to solve a puzzle. We are able to put that puzzle together. In studio this morning with me are members of the community, and they are from the Grenville policing area. And we are just going to discuss as to the tone of which I've been speaking this morning, community policing. But the community policing that we want to look at this morning is that of CAB. I know persons have here, CAB. CAB, what is that? Citizen Advisory Body. Each police station is a mandate from the Commissioner of Police. And this morning, it's not the first time we have in CAB in studio on program of that nature, but this morning their morning, and as a result we go right into, and I say good morning to my guests. Good morning to you, sir and madam. How are you?
Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Well, being that you take the phone, the mic first, being gentleman, go right ahead and tell our listeners who you are.
Well, I'm Junior Farry. I'm the president of CAB, attached to the Grenville Police Station, or the Grenville Policing Division.
Definitely. Well, good morning. So just in case my listeners did not hear all of what my first guest said, you know, I'm a bit excited with them in studio. And here what, they're also live on YouTube, so check us out there so you're able to put a face to the names. And we are in the recruitment process as well, you know, so yes, you can know who to tap into. So, Mr. Farry, I'm sorry, I would have to ask you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, my name is Junior Farry, and I'm the president of CAB, Citizen Advisory Body, attached to the Grenville Policing Division.
Thank you so much. And good morning to your madam.
Good morning to your corporal, and good morning to your guest. I'm Cheyenne, and I'm the vice president of the CAB.
Right. So tell us more about Cheyenne. What's Cheyenne's profession, and which parish is Cheyenne from?
I'm a teacher, aspiring project manager. I'm from Paradise. I love what I do. I love children. I have 2 wonderful children, a boy and a girl.
You realize I love what I do. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. But yes, look at the face.
I treasure them greatly.
Look at the face saying a boy and a girl. So that alone would add to what she speaks of in terms of. But to you, Mr. Farry, yes, persons may know of Junior Farry or Mr. About Farry that is outstanding, or which community is he from?
Well, I'm from Maribor or St. Cloud's in the big parish, and I'm a contractor or businessman, and I operate the contracting firm or the business firm, Farry's Construction Services Limited. So we do a lot of buildings all over Grenada and other things.
That's okay. Sell yourself. It's all right. Because
I was
remember,
wondering if I could go
yes, you
further.
can. Certainly, you can. You have
Right,
that
so-
opportunity.
So you will see the logo FCSL all over the place. That is the company which I'm the managing director of, owner of. And for commercial, residential, we do a lot of civil works too, roads, retaining wall, bridges and stuff like that. So you can contact FCSL and contact Junior Farry.
Great. The reason why I ask you to do that, so it's no level of bias, because Citizen Advisory CAB works with a cross section or dimensional community within the policing area. So you are a business person, a contractor, we have a teacher. And when we go to the dynamics of the membership of the group, persons would realize we have counselors, we have farmers, we have other business personnel, we have even unemployed persons within the group. So we attract the different strata within the community. And the reason I ask you to go right ahead. So it's not to put you on the spot or throw you off, but oftentimes people hear of grouping associated with the police and it's non-profitable. And they will say, well, how am I to go there based on schedule? Something like that. Well, I don't functioning under your brain.
So we were there.
Music commitment.
We gave lunch to equipped police officers at the station with first knowledge to deal with their crimes, to better solve their crimes. We also we tried to embark on to label the streets in Grenville.
Right.
Yeah, but we understood that this project was sort of bordering on a project from the government, so we held back on it a little.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Also, we assisted persons, fire people, persons that lost their homes with whatever we could have given at the time. But you ask about the funding, where we get the funding
Definitely.
from. It's a non-profit organization.
Right.
So the funding really come from us, and some of it come from community, the businesses within the area. But mainly it was cab members dip into their pockets, and also the police officers. We say that they contributed significantly to ensuring that we have the little fund that we need to spearhead the projects that we were undertaking or undertook.
Right. Right. As it speaks, well, one may say, well, I hear of the president, I hear of the vice president. How did they attain those positions?
That was done by election. So the membership generally was selected by the policing division, Granville. And as a result of that, we had several meetings, and then we had an election. So we didn't put ourselves into offices. It was done democratically by votes. And that's how we have the president, vice president, treasurer, all the other departments.
Right. Well, based on my knowledge of CAV and its membership constitution, in our pretty young stage, we had lost one of our members.
Yes,
and that would have been our then vice president.
Yes.
And I think that's the first time after his death we would have had a CAB program.
Okay.
I want to extend or ask of you, Mr. President, if to acknowledge just a moment of silence for him.
Okay, so on behalf of the CAB, we would like to extend our deepest sympathy still to the family of our former vice president. And we missed him a lot because he was very instrumental, very vocal on a lot of issues, right? And as a result of that, that inspired us too. So it's sad to say he gone, but that motivated us to push forward because there's a lot of things that he wanted to see happen, and we are making sure that we ensure that these things happen.
Right.
Even if he's not around.
Well, to piggyback on that statement that you made, yesterday, day before I went to have my vehicle inspected, and I remember Mr. Williams always said, you see that Paul's Boat Bridge? That is a disaster waiting to happen. If nothing happens under my watch, that boat bridge and the traffic light not be functioning at the standard. And hear what, listeners? The boat bridge is closed as we speak now to vehicular traffic.
Yeah.
And now, and I'm hearing his voice saying, Officer Grant, what is the next project to attack that bridge? I know persons we can tap into. And unfortunately, he had passed, and that project was not realized, but his words did materialize in terms of seeing the outcome. But I trust that that's just, as you said, one of the ways that we continue to work and foster our relationship with the community as a body. But in terms of the prospects, and you spoke, Mr. Fari, of building bridges, which is one of the objectives of CAB. For the Granville CAB, what are some of the avenues or aspects we intend to step into to continue closing the gap or building bridges within your policing area?
Well, education is key. We started, as Ms. Date said earlier on, that we had a psychological engagement with the officers. That was a nice workshop, and we intend to do more of these sort of educational programs with the police officers, because remember, police officers are same human being like us, right? They're prone to do things wrongfully. Sometimes even the Bible say that sometimes even we intend to do good, we have good intention, but we find ourselves doing things that are not right.
Yes.
So they are not immune to doing wrong things. But however, this is why we want to bridge the gap so we can have better communication with the police and the citizens. Too many times we find people are too agitated, too arrogant in dealing with the police. Remember, citizens, we have to obey the law, and this is Bible too. This is Bible based. We have to obey the law of the land. So if the law say that we're not supposed to do something, we should not do it. And when we do it, and if we get in contact with the police, then we expect the police officers to pull us up. So that's how we become better citizens. However, the police officers have to do it in a professional manner. So as a profession, and not just as I'm a police and I have the law in my hands, right? They have to see it as a profession, and they have to take it very seriously. And you have to love what you're doing. If you love the you do work, then you will respect each other. So citizens have to learn to respect police officers, as well as police officers have to learn to deal with citizens in a very professional manner. If you come and you address me and say good morning, I mean, that might throw the entire conversation out of line. But you say good morning, how are you? And then, if you have to give a ticket, you give a ticket. But and citizens have to learn to abide and respect police officers. So once you see the uniform, as a matter of fact, they don't supposed to be a police officer for to respect another person.
Yes.
That should be our duty, to respect each other. So if we respect people, then we wouldn't have all the problems we have now.
Right.
And if I may add, we've also we've identified target communities that are some quote unquote high risk. Right. So, and we've also we work to partner with these community groups to undergo projects with them. So, for example, one of what let's just use for example, we intend to have little sport activities, cricket games, and so with them to work on our mandate, to strengthen our mandate by bridging the gap between the community and the police. Yeah. So we don't want we don't want police to always appear to be bullies or bad guys in the light of the community. We want to let the communities know the police is just like us. It's just like us. It's not a bad person. So when they come to you, you don't have to rebel. You don't always have to rebel. You can, things are done properly, and we communicate smoothly. It doesn't always have to end up in a brawl.
Right.
You understand? Right. And also, we to be present in the community, the CAB members, to be present in our communities. So, for example, I represent Paradise. I should be present in my community. So, there's something going on in my community. I should be able to be an influence to the people there. So, we be present. One of our aims is in the community.
Right.
And to ensure that community policing is alive and well, and things are being done for us.
Definitely. So you have listeners and persons are following you. We have Gil Williams saying good morning. You also have, there was a small glitch. Gil, I trust that things have sorted out itself and you're able to hear us better. You also have Maxwell Belfons into the Real FM family. So there are persons listening not just within Grenada. Real FM is touching boundaries. So what we'll do at this stage, then I have my customer from our poetry center, Andrews, saying it must be noted that the law of the land must be in subjection to the word of God. Now we're taking a trend here, but I think in many regards, we have situations where there may be some offline. But what is important is the same word of God says, give Caesar what is due unto Caesar.
True.
And if we understand the context of it, I don't think there would be a collision. Because if you obey the word of God, certainly you will know that it speaks to how you treat with your authority. Something may be wrong, and not what we do, but it's how we deal with it brings about that change and do foster a better approach in terms of our society. So listeners, on that note, we'll take a brief break and we'll be right back. Bearing in mind, this morning we're discussing citizen advisory body, and that is for the Grenville policing area. And in studio with me is Mr. Junior Farry, president of the Grenville CAB, and also that of Ms. Cheyenne Date, vice president. So we'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&N Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
GNT Promotions presents a garden party to remember. One Shady Lane will never be the same as G&D Promotion presents the party of a lifetime. Music, food, top shelf drinks, and entertainment galore. It will be an Easter Monday you don't. Tickets are limited, so get yours now before they are sold out. Give Gotafet and Gittins Drug Mart in Grand call and get your ticket, and the other tickets. One Shady Lane, Ralph Place. This Easter Monday is the spot you want to be at. Live music from Octane International. Miss this one and blame no one else. Remember, there is a massive television as a door prize. Tickets available, as I said, at Gittins Drug Mart and GoToFed.com. One Shady Lane, Ralph Place, Lansapine, Easter Monday. That's where we will all be.
Police walking on eggshells for you. We never get it right. It's not just the criminals, but society gives the biggest fight. Unwarranted slander we endure every day. Police is police just for
You know, we go through that every day, you know. The amount of slander and humiliation that we face by John Public. But hear what?
daily, but before I make a flaw, you're ready to hang the stewards and the law. Remember when they killed Brenty, you said I'm police too.
When they kill Brenty, they say, how can I think about the police? And then when the police put up a heavy hand, they say things still about the police. But hear what? The police is now finding it right. And in that balance, and they had realized, or we've realized, you know what? Regardless of what the community says, we will still have that juggle. So the police decide that avenues we can build that relationship. Hear what? There are numerous groupings within the RGPF where the police and the community work together so that an episode of Brenty's death would not repeat itself within the organization. Yes, there are other issues that we need to work and shrink and pull here and there, add and subtract. We are aware of that. But we've realized without the community, police can't work. Because when I was a child, the height and size of a police officer differs now, right in Granville Police Station. I see some police officers and I just stand next to them and I start laughing. And like, Corporal, what is that? I said, well, in the days when I was a child, you don't make police yet. And then a doctor said to me one day, if you were in Africa or some other countries out there, you're making policing with all of your qualities. I said, why? He said, that foot does not fit the foot of a soldier. So all how you take it, but the police says, in order for our job to be complete, with all of the challenges we face personally and within society, that we need to work together. So they have the crime management team, they have citizen advisory body, the traffic department have their own body. Then you have Pretty Alasni, farmers are crying out. You have the Pretty Alasni task force and also the farmers watch. So there are groupings within the police and the community to change the dimension as to how the police function. You are our, meaning the police, watchdog. You have a responsibility, society, that when the police is not functioning at the prescribed standard, to say something. But hear what? It's not just what you say, it's how you say it and how you do what you do. There are avenues so that we can get those things right. So in the event that you're saying, well, I see Ms. Grant behave in a particular manner when she came and dealt with a report with Tom Jones, I can't go and tell Grant that. No. So why can't speak to Grant about it, or you're scared to speak to Grant, or you believe police for police, so now if I talk, nobody would believe me. Here you realize there is a group or a community within your community that you can go to. So at studio with me, you have Junior Farry, the president of the Granville Citizen Advisory Body. He's from Maribor, but throughout he is within the island. Then he's Cheyenne did. She's from Paradise, but a teacher. With her personality and skills, that's why they are alive, So you are able to put names and faces together. And there are other members so that you can tap in and share your experience so we can continue to foster that relationship. So they are here with me still, and I just wanted to show or bring across to your listeners that the Kalaloo between the community and the police, it is important. Our national dish, the oil dung, it's not only yellow, because you see the green in it with the kalaloo and the other vegetable, and there's the same approach, that all-along approach between the community and the police working together. So we have been speaking about the citizen advisory body for the Granville area. And what are the objectives? We speak a lot about CAB, what they have been doing, what they intend to do. What really is the objective of CAB, Citizen Advisory Body?
Well, we have about 4 major objectives. One is to improve communication between the community and the police force.
Right.
The other one is to assist the police in identifying deficiency in the quality of service in which they provide. Thirdly, to assist the police in its fight against all forms of crimes. And fourthly, to encourage persons to embrace their civic responsibilities. So these are the objective of CAB in a nutshell, right? So you see right there, and then the citizens have to collaborate with the police in order for us to help make Grenada a purer place, a nicer place, so that everybody will want to come and live.
Yeah, and these if you ask me, these objectives are well-rounded, right? They border on every aspect of our policing. So I also, if I may interject here also, the notion should be dispelled that we are not spies. Mm-hmm. The adage is that CAB members, they're spies in the communities. No, we're not about that. We're about ensuring that there is a good relationship, excellent comradeship between the police and the community members.
Right.
Too often we see so many negative things being spewed at the police. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that, because these are not our objectives.
Well, as you say that, Miss It, and to encapsulate all that you example, that situation within the St. David's policing area that Christmas where that Bartholomew guy, God forbid, lost his life. I remember that within a particular timing after that incident, there were communities in St. David's that said no to police. You can't come. And if you come, everybody shut their doors and their mouth towards you. And it was the citizen advisory body within the St. David's policing area and assisted by St. Paul's citizen advisory body that was able to come in to some of those community and hear from the community members as to what was the situation, what are the burning issues, how can that gap be closed or narrow. And it worked. It worked well. Yes, it's still in the court, but the point I want to gravitate to, the effects. And there was no further loss of lives or serious criminal incidents coming out of that relationship between the community and the police, even if the community were aggrieved. Because it was the same community members who were hurting just the same were able to go into the larger community and say, yes, the police are human being, an incident happened, let the law take its course, but we need to continue working together. So you may ask, yes, it is a non-profitable grouping, but what are the benefits? The benefits of it, and as you both explained, is safer communities, not Best Buy, because without CAB, investigations, arrests, and policing aspect would continue. True. But then, with your intervention, it also speaks to less of the arrests. It speaks to less of the criminal offenses occurring because persons are now able to know my go-to point. So Tom mashed my toe, they know I can go to Miss Date, I can go to Mr. Farry on that issue. You know, the police on my case, and I think that officer is unprofessional. No, if I go and complain to the police, they would label me. And that's how John Public thinks. So, but if I tell Date or I tell Farry or I tell somebody of the CAB team, they would not know it's me, but my concern would be heard. I remember when I was in Karakou, there was a situation where within a particular community, a group of children was not going to school. And that within that village, that citizen or community member was saying, well, who do I speak to that my name don't call? And I remember we were able to use the CAB to go into the community with various resources and were able to get some of the children back in school and have that community functioning. So it is not being spy, and that's, as you rightly say, Ms. Date, it's something that we need to get rid of, but the greater picture is how the police and community works together, having you all as that liaison, the bridge to get through either communities. Considering that, we have since passed or rounding off 2 years, and according to the regulation of CAB or the guidelines, we have for the election. I stand corrected. But what is the recruitment process of being a CAB member, and how does someone join?
Well, you show interest, you can contact any one of us, myself or the president or any member that you know. You let them know that you're interested in joining, and we gladly appreciate your interest. In fact, the more the merrier. The more persons we have on board, the force is greater.
Right.
So you express your interest through us, and we formally write your letter to ensure that to confirm your interest, and you're on board with us.
Right.
And we, like I said, to enforce what you said earlier, we're not looking for specific professions or specific strata of people. No. Once you're able, once you're credible, you're someone that we can trust, it's okay to join in and be a part of the CAB.
Right.
We're looking for anybody, a bus conductor, a bus driver, a garbage collector. Once you're able, you're willing, you're committed, you're on board with us. Join us. Once you understand the assignment, you're on board with us.
Right.
Join us.
Further, you can contact Couple Grant, right? And she's at the Granville Police Station. She's laughing, but yeah, that is one of the persons you can also contact.
She's central, so
right.
she's apt, if you ask me. Apt.
I don't have to do that too. But that's a fact, right? It's the community and the police working together. Police and the community working together. I always emphasize on that. And if we want to speak as to the constitution of our membership, I highlighted it at the start of the program, but let's just let our listeners know some of our members okay, someone is asking what's the definition of the organization. So they're probably hearing us speaking of CAB and probably wants an understanding of that. So, any of it?
CAB is Citizen Advisory Body, right? Citizen Advisory Body, CAB.
We act as advisors to the police. We help, we give advice, we do whatever we can to ensure that we have communities. We bridge the gap in essence.
Definitely. And you would notice, well, I think the mic is barring Miss Date t-shirt, but that's her CAB t-shirt that she has on.
Yeah.
So CAB has done a lot, you know. They has a banner. They has t-shirts with is it mission and vision? Mission and
It's just a logo.
Connecting.
The motto.
the motto. So they got a motto, and you wondering what that crest represents? It's St. Andrew because and the two hands where CAB is written, it's signifying the community and they had made some strides within their 2 years, but Hazard is saying thanks for the information. So that's it. Prior to me referring to that, so Hazard is also saying, I applaud that initiative to bridge the gap between the police and the community. I look like a blind mice this morning without my glasses. But let us look at the constitution of our grouping and if some of our members, in terms of, even if we don't want to call names, in terms of its community or professions that we attract, or it's part of it thus far.
Okay, so we have we have the officers that are attached, that are involved with us.
Right.
We have persons like Shelley and Lewis. She's a counselor
Right.
by profession. She's our secretary. We have Mina Buka. Shy and Date, we have Mr. George Phillip, who is a retired agriculture extension officer.
Yeah.
So he's a very resourceful person too. He's our PR. And we have Mr. Raymond Buckmeyer. He's also the treasurer.
School attendant officer.
Right. And Ms. Date will give you some more persons.
We also have Miss Sholian O'Neill. She's our assistant secretary and she's well known in the Child Protection Authority. It's not because she's very active in her role.
Yes.
Yes, I love her for that. We have Mr. Sanu Sahid and Mr. Daddy Wayne. Everybody know him as Daddy Wayne. They're our business. They're in Grenville there.
Yeah, businesses.
Yeah, we've diverse in our business because we have store, we have bar, we have supermarket, because we have Mr. Francis Sentile also.
Right.
So we have a few members. Mr. Whelan Andrews, a very committed member, if you ask me. He's always there, supportive and everything.
Yeah.
And he does his CMOS business. He's on the bay doing his CMOS business, self-employed.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have. See. So basically, the others are.
Well, we even have someone in the fishery.
Yeah.
The fishing industry.
Yeah, and
that's Mr. Ann Williams, Augustine
Yes.
Williams. We also have from the Pre-Alasni Task Force, we have a representative in the person of Miss Moore section.
And let's not forget the media personality, Mr. Davis.
Oh yes,
he just came on also.
Yeah, and we also have a banker.
Yes, Mr. Dylan
Wow,
Charles.
you all are spreading wings, man.
Yeah, they came on just recent, and they're just as vibrant as all of us. So we're attracting competent members. We're doing well in that aspect.
Well, I want to join with Hazard and say, and applaud you all as community members for taking on such great responsibility and working with the police. But hear what? Whenever you get comfortable within that 1 hour, it says farewell and goodbye. Yes, Mr. Farry, it's almost 10.
Yeah, it's tasking. And it takes up a lot on you, especially when you have family.
Yes.
You have to leave out your family to do those things. But with commitment, and you want to see a better community, you want to see a better society, that drive comes from within you.
Right.
So you forget, I don't want to say forget, but you sacrifice your little family time to ensure that it's the same children that you're growing safe communities.
Right.
Because I mean, you could do as much as you can at home, but once the influence is outside, they're for them, they're gone.
Right.
Because the influence is greater outside. So I mean, I'm encouraging everyone, once you're able, to join us to help make our communities safer. Once we're safe, everybody's safe.
I also want to join in here too, because we have, as I said, we have 24 hours, all of us at the same time. Very taxing, especially with me again in church. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, and I'm very involved in the youth work of the church, area coordinator and stuff like that, in the uniform aspect of the church work. And I still have my business to run, and I have a family,
Yes.
right, to attend to, and I still have my personal time. But we need to make some time for the development of Grenada. So sometimes that is where you need to put, there is a saying that put your mouth where your
money where your
put
mouth
your
is.
money where your mouth is. Yeah. So now is the time for you to make a difference for Grenada, Carrick, and Pitty by coming on board and be a part of the CAB, Citizen Advisory Body. And we from the Grenville division.
Definitely.
So come on board and let's make it a better place, a safer place. But we also want the police officers to act very professionally.
Yes.
And civilians, let us comply. Let us make sure we abide by the law of the land, right? So let us do what we have to do. And by so doing, then not just our reward will be here, but it will be heavenly too.
Great.
All right.
But before you run, while I do understand it's non-profitable, you are listening from a wide dimension. I'm just hearing that little voice saying, well, for such an initiative, I want to contribute a sponsor or make some donation to the grouping. What do you have to say on that? Would it be accepted? Or?
Sure.
So what is there anything you like to say to our listeners in that light? It's not that you're begging or asking.
Right.
Just in case persons have that interest, how do they channel?
Well, we need a lot of funds. We need funds because if we have funds, then we can do more projects in communities. All right. So what you can do, we have a fully staffed office, but we have somebody in Grenville Police Station who we can go directly to and maybe contribute. And we need big funds. If you have $5,000, $10,000, $100, $10. You can drop it at the Grenville Police Station with Corporal Grant.
Yes.
See the officer name.
You have Constable Callis.
Right, Constable Callis is also there, and he's very instrumental too in the operation of CAB. Right, so you can make your contribution, or you can see me and Ms. Date and give us a contribution, and we ensure you that it will go to the development of the communities.
But so far, I can endorse that, because some of the activities you all did not want to sell yourself on the hampers and projects that was done so far. You all put it so small and capped. But there are in more than 50 hampers distributed by that group within the police of Grenville, and it was of a needy cause, not just 5 victims, as they stated. There were a lot of other persons within communities of the Grenville policing area that benefited, and we just want to say thank you for taking time off your schedule, your personal lives, and working together with the police to ensure we have a safer community. And I want to say thank you again for being here with us this morning, just selling it out and letting our listeners know what CAB, Citizen Advisory Body, is all about. So it is now 10. Tomorrow, God's will, we will be on Star FM Grenville, where we do another program, The Conversation with the RGPF. So who missed it, you can get it there. God bless you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Of course, you hear something, see something, know something, I urge you to say something. And you can get CRD Grenville on 406-0193. We have been relocated at Lacwas Building, upstairs the Parliamentary Office on Gladstone Road, St. Andrews. Have a wonderful day. Parents, guardians, remember, it's don't drop your guard. Remember to remind your children as to the boundaries that have been set, and let us ensure that our future leaders are safe and they are well taken care of. God bless you. Have a wonderful one, and let the best team win. Bye.
Libya.
The European Union on Tuesday defended its record of helping to relieve the suffering of migrants in Libya after UN-backed investigators accused the bloc of enabling human rights abuses and other crimes.
And indeed, of course, we are aware about this